Have you ever felt stuck in your life, unable to move forward, like you're dragging around the weight of the world? Like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to shake this feeling that something's not right? Well, you're not alone. This feeling, this stuckness, it could be a sign of unhealed trauma. Trauma comes in many forms, from major life events to ongoing situations like childhood neglect or emotional abuse. It can affect your relationships, career, health, and entire outlook on life. Recognizing and understanding the signs of unhealed trauma is the first step towards healing and breaking free from the past. So, let's dive into the 9 signs that you might have unhealed trauma. The first sign we're going to talk about is flashbacks. Flashbacks are sudden, vivid memories that transport you right back to the traumatic event, triggered by anything, a sound, a smell, a certain place. They can feel so real that your body reacts as if it's happening all over again. Your heart might race, you might start to sweat, you might feel like you can't breathe. Flashbacks are a normal reaction to trauma, your brain's way of trying to process what happened. Sometimes the brain gets stuck in a loop, replaying the trauma over and over again. That's why it's so important to seek professional help if you're struggling with flashbacks. A therapist can teach you coping mechanisms to manage these flashbacks and ground yourself in the present moment. Remember, you don't have to suffer in silence. There is help available, and you deserve to heal. Let's talk about avoidance, the second sign we're tackling today. Avoidance might seem like a harmless coping mechanism at first, but it can keep you stuck in a cycle of pain. If you've been in a car accident, you might avoid driving. If you were assaulted in a dark alley, you might avoid going out at night. When avoidance starts to control your life, it becomes a problem. Avoidance might provide temporary relief, but it doesn't address the root of the problem, the unhealed trauma. It keeps those painful memories and emotions bottled up inside, festering and growing stronger. So how do you break free from the chains of avoidance? It takes courage, but you have to start facing your fears, one step at a time. Start small. If you're afraid of driving, maybe start by sitting in your car in the driveway. Then maybe drive around the block. Gradually expose yourself to the things you're avoiding, and you'll find that the fear starts to lessen. A therapist can provide a safe and supportive space for you to confront your fears and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Now let's talk about hypervigilance. Have you ever felt like you're constantly on edge, always waiting for the other shoe to drop? Do you find yourself scanning your surroundings for potential threats, even in safe situations? Trauma puts your brain in survival mode, making you hyper-alert. This constant alertness can be draining and disruptive. Hypervigilance can make you startle easily, have trouble sleeping, or find it hard to concentrate. The good news is, hypervigilance is treatable. Therapy can help you manage your anxiety and retrain your brain to feel safe again. You deserve to experience peace and tranquility. Now, let's talk about emotional numbness, the 4th sign on our list. When we've experienced trauma, sometimes our minds go to extraordinary lengths to protect us from further pain. One way it does this is through emotional numbing. It's like your emotions have been put on ice, frozen in time. You might find yourself going through the motions of life, but not really feeling anything. Joy, sadness, anger, it all seems distant and muted, like you're watching a movie of your own life. When we numb ourselves to pain, we also numb ourselves to joy, to love, to all the good things life has to offer. Emotional numbness can manifest in many ways. You might feel detached from yourself and others, have difficulty experiencing pleasure, or find it hard to connect with your own needs and desires. Therapy can help you thaw out those frozen emotions, reconnect with yourself, and rediscover the vibrant feeling person you truly are. Remember, you deserve to experience the full spectrum of human emotions, the good and the bad. Let's talk about trust, or more specifically, the difficulty trusting others. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship, but when you've been hurt, building that bridge again can feel impossible. Trauma shatters our sense of safety, making us question everyone and everything. You might push people away, afraid of being hurt again. This guardedness can lead to isolation and loneliness. Rebuilding trust takes time, patience, and courage. Start by setting healthy boundaries. Decide what you're comfortable sharing and with whom. Surround yourself with people who demonstrate empathy, respect, and consistency. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore your trust issues and develop healthier relationship skills. Remember, you don't have to navigate this alone. With the right support, you can learn to trust again. Let's talk about self-destructive behavior, the sixth sign on our list. When we're struggling with unhealed trauma, sometimes we turn on ourselves in the most heartbreaking ways. This self-sabotage can take many forms: substance abuse, eating disorders, self-harm, reckless behavior. We might engage in these behaviors as a way to numb the pain, to feel something, anything, even if it's pain, or to punish ourselves for something that happened to us. These behaviors are not the answer. They're a cry for help, a sign that you're hurting and that you need support. The first step to breaking free from self-destructive behaviors is recognizing that they're a symptom of a deeper issue, the unhealed trauma. Therapy can provide a safe and non-judgmental space to explore the underlying trauma, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and learn to love and care for yourself in the way you deserve. Remember, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of healing, and you don't have to punish yourself for the rest of your life. Let's talk about anxiety, or more specifically, chronic anxiety, the seventh sign on our list. Everyone experiences anxiety from time to time. It's a normal human emotion, but when anxiety becomes a constant companion, when it starts to interfere with your daily life, that's when you know it's become a problem. For people with unhealed trauma, anxiety can be like a constant hum in the background, always there, always threatening to drown out everything else. You might find yourself worrying excessively about things that are out of your control, feeling restless and agitated, having trouble sleeping, or experiencing physical symptoms like headaches, stomach aches, or muscle tension. This constant state of anxiety can be absolutely debilitating. It can make it difficult to focus, to maintain relationships, to enjoy life. Therapy can help you understand the root of your anxiety, develop coping mechanisms to manage your symptoms, and challenge those negative thought patterns that are keeping you stuck. Medication can also be helpful in managing the symptoms of anxiety, but it's important to remember that medication alone won't address the underlying trauma. The real healing comes from addressing the root of the problem, and that's where therapy comes in. Let's talk about depression, the eighth sign we're going to cover. Depression is more than just feeling sad or down. It's a serious mental health condition that can affect every aspect of your life: your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, your physical health. For people with unhealed trauma, depression can feel like a heavy cloak, weighing you down, making it hard to find the energy or motivation to do the things you used to enjoy. You might experience feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness, guilt, shame, a loss of interest in activities you once loved, changes in appetite or sleep patterns, difficulty concentrating, and even thoughts of death or suicide. Therapy can help you understand the connection between your trauma and your depression, develop coping mechanisms to manage your symptoms, and rediscover the joy and meaning in your life. Medication can also be helpful in managing the symptoms of depression, but just like with anxiety, it's important to address the underlying trauma as well. Remember, you are not broken, you are not beyond repair, and you deserve to experience the full spectrum of human emotions, including joy, love, and contentment. Finally, let's talk about recurring negative patterns, the ninth sign on our list. Have you ever noticed yourself repeating the same unhealthy patterns in your relationships, your career, or your life in general? Do you find yourself attracting the same type of toxic people or making the same self-sabotaging decisions over and over again? When we haven't dealt with our past hurts, they have a way of seeping into our present and future, influencing our choices and behaviors in ways we might not even realize. Breaking free from these negative patterns takes conscious effort and a willingness to confront those deeply ingrained beliefs and behaviors. Therapy can be an invaluable tool in this process, helping you identify those self-sabotaging patterns, understand their connection to your trauma, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. It's about rewriting the script of your life, changing the narrative that's been playing on repeat in your head. Remember, you are not defined by your past. You have the power to break free from those negative patterns and create a future filled with love, joy, and healthy relationships. It takes courage to confront those deeply ingrained patterns, but the rewards are immeasurable. So there you have it, 9 signs that you might have unhealed trauma. If any of these resonated with you, please know that you're not alone. Trauma is more common than you think, and there's absolutely no shame in seeking help. Recognizing and addressing unhealed trauma is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of incredible strength. It's about taking control of your life, breaking free from the chains of the past, and stepping into your full potential. You deserve to live a life free from the grip of trauma, a life filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. If you're ready to start your healing journey, I encourage you to reach out to a mental health professional. There's no shame in asking for help. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.